In an extreme long-range shooting, it takes mere seconds from the pull of the trigger until the bullet finds its target. But physics is only part of the secret for success in this sport. Concentration and control are the trademarks of the marksmen who compete for the coveted crown, King of 2 Miles. Welcome to the King of 2 Miles, presented by Stiller's Actions. Coming to you from the NRA Whittington Center in Raton, New Mexico. I'm Ted Jones. Joining me for today's coverage will be Paul Phillips. Let's take a look at the qualifying. Target number 1, you have 5 shots. On 2, 3, and 4, they reach further down course, you only get 3 shots. Here's what's important. You must hit each target at least 1 time. Where are these targets located? Well, let's start out with target number 1 at 1,550 yards. Target number 2, 1,715 yards, both of those 24 by 37. Targets 3 and 4 the same size, 30 inches by 37, but even further down course, target 4 being 1.13 miles away. Our first shooter today will be Bill Poor, and we ask world-renowned ballistician Brian Litz about one of the factors that Bill and others must keep in mind.
So in extreme range shooting, you have excessive bullet drop, okay? Bullet drop in excess of what scopes are able to adjust for internally, like 100 minutes of angle, 40 mils. These are typical maximum ranges of adjustment, and you have more drop than that at extreme range. So you have to do something to augment the adjustment that you have in your scope, such as mount the scope on a tapered base that allows you to adjust up at more extreme ranges.
Boy, it is complicated, Paul. I mean, this sport is very, very deep.
Bill built his own rifle, and he had to put that adjustable base on there to get enough elevation to go to 2 miles. Let's see how he does here at the first plate.
Elevation looks pretty good.
Well, a miss on the first one. That is an unusual, I guess you'd still call that a bipod that's out there on the front.
Yep, that's a Sinclair bipod, actually. He's got it adjusted all the way up. It looks like he's having a problem seeing the spot there. Let's see if they adjust over.
Taking his time, and still another miss. Now this is starting to get serious as he approaches shot number 4.
Yeah, the first 2 were off to the right. They adjusted to the left. Now he's just a little bit low. So let's see if he can make connection here.
Impact.
Finally, okay, good hit. Look at that. Wow, pretty close. And one more shot, although he has qualified now to go to the second target.
Just off the left edge. Elevation looks
well, let's see how Bill did. Important part he got on. Number 1, he was high and away, far off, and then number 2, he was way over to the left side. 3, he was down too low, as I told you. 4, he got on, though, so that's what counts. We're going on to target number 2 right now.
You were just low.
Yeah, that just missed the plate at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, you heard his spotter tell him that he was just low, just up a little bit, Bill.
Yeah, he came up a click. I'm not sure if that's enough.
Paul, you probably need to advise he was low again.
Yeah, he only come up 1 click. He's got to come about 4 clicks.
Maybe he did it this time. And he did. How about that? He got a hit, so he'll get to move on to target number 3. Here's the way he's done so far. Only 1 hit on each target, but you know what? That's all it takes to keep advancing.
Bill's doing a really good job. Him and his spotter are working through the plates. Now on to past a mile. We'll see how they do.
Just to the left.
Well, the first shot was a miss.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, just off the left.
Spotter up. There we go.
Ready for the second shot now. The spotter is giving me information. Let's see if it's correct. Nope, still low and away. Wow. Well, pressure time. He only gets 3. This is the third one coming up. Spotter's giving me the info. Let's see if it's correct.
Impact. Yes.
Wow, he did get it. That was real close. He's only hitting one target one time, each one of them.
That's okay, though. He advances to the last target. Let's see what he can do here.
That's what counts.
Okay.
Way off to the left.
Come up 1/10. Come right 3/10.
Now you heard the spotter tell him to come to the right. He does that, and it's still to the left.
Yeah, the spotter did a good job. He saw the first shot. He adjusted right. He's a little bit closer. Let's see if they can make impact on this third shot.
Same spot.
As you look at the results, you'll notice that he hit the last shot, or nearly the last shot. So we asked Bill, in your opinion, what's the most important shot to hit?
You want to be able to hit on the first shot, but you never know what the wind's going to be doing, and you can only do what math and technology gives you to try and figure out the wind shot.
Getting relaxed, ready to go. Our next shooter will be Ronnie Right as we continue our coverage. King of 2 Miles, presented by Stiller's Actions. Stay with us, please.
King of 2 Miles is being brought to you by Burger Bullets, the highest levels of precision. Bardline Barrels, cutting edge of barrel technology. And by McMillan Fiberglass Stocks, molding the way America shoots.
Welcome back to the NRA Whittington Center outside Raton, New Mexico, and our King of 2 Miles competition presented by Stiller's Actions. Now, our next shooter you saw relaxing, getting ready. Now he's in position. This is Ronnie Right. We ask him about how he gets ready to shoot.
I'll get down, build me a steady position, check my breathing, make sure my breathing's not affecting my point of aim, and do good trigger squeeze, good follow through on my natural respiratory pause and my downward breath.
Ronnie, as he said, gets down. There he is. He's down and ready to go. He's out of Bell Buckle, Tennessee. His spotter, Derek Bolig. His wind coach is Brian Bowling. Oh, way high for a miss on the first shot.
Come down 0.5, Ronnie.
Yeah, this is another Barrett 99. This is military grade issue. It's a 416 Barrett cartridge, shooting a cutting edge bullet.
Bingo.
And he's got a hit. They told him to bring it down. He brought it down. He's on target.
Check your level.
Now, this is pretty amazing. This is an over-the-counter rifle that the military use, and he's using it today in the competition.
Another hit. So most of these rifles are specially built and prepared just for the competition.
Most rifles are, but this one is over-the-counter that they issue to the military. So this is pretty special what he's doing right now.
Indeed he is. Wow, he's got a string going right there. Of course, he's got it on. Change nothing. Just keep shooting, Ronnie.
Yeah, Ronnie's an engineer with Barrett, and he works in R&D, so he's out at the range a lot practicing, and it shows.
That, folks, is 4 out of 5. Take a look where he put them. All 4 of them in a nice, neat square right there. The first one a little high for a miss. So we'll move on right now to the second target, a little further away. And he's high again.
Yeah, that went over the top. It was a good wind call, but it just went over the top of their elevation.
Come down 0.5.
The spotters told him how much to adjust down. He did it the last time, and he hit the next 4. Let's see if he can hit the next 2. Yes, he does. You can see it swinging right there in the lower right-hand corner.
Yeah, that 416 Barrett, man, it's got a lot of power. Notice how that plate just started buckling when he hit it.
And another hit. Boy, he's racking up some points. Not to mention the chance to go on and advance to target number 3. Look at that. Only 2 misses, each one the first one. Then he makes the adjustment, and they're doing it correctly.
They have good teamwork between the spotter and the wind coach and the shooter, and it's showing.
Well, a miss on that one. Remember, this is a different target. We're over 1 mile away now, folks.
Windage look good.
You heard the spotter. The windage looked good. He said you're just too low. Okay. Another miss.
Yeah, that was still low. Notice the spotter. He's directly behind the shooter. So they're getting a really good look at the trace and the wind. Let's see if they can put it all together for this third shot.
Told him to come left. He came left.
Next target.
He got one hit. That's all he needed. Each time the first few are off, but he makes the adjustment in time to be able to move on to the next target. Target number 4. This is a tough one.
Yeah, if you don't have your adjustments on your scope and windage, you might miss, just like you've seen right there.
Way high right
Level.
That's why it's important for the spotter to make the quick correction so they can make the hit. And they've been doing that every plate.
He'll bring it down.
Hit.
Yes, indeed.
Now that's an awesome job. That's awesome teamwork as you see this. They're seeing the trace, they're seeing the impacts, they're adjusting, and they're getting points.
He has qualified now to go to the finals, but he wants points.
There you go.
So shot 3. Yep, more points. As we look at the score, you'll notice once again, once he gets that windage in, he is successful at hitting. We ask him, what's your biggest problem?
I at least hit every target once. We do have a pretty switchy tailwind. It's fluctuating, so it's messing with my velocity. Not my velocity, but my elevation holds. So I'm having to dial off from what my known elevation hold is based off that tailwind.
Let's check in with the Frank Brunel Museum Gun Collection.
This is a British, what they call the British blunderbuss. This was primarily developed for the use of the British Navy. And again, it was a flintlock mechanism. But when you look down the bore, it's got a big, big hole. And what you did when you loaded this, you loaded it with just about anything you could find. Pieces of wood, nails, spoons, forks, it didn't matter. You would cram it down here, and when you fired it, it would clear a deck, and that's what it was designed to do. A very early version of what you could call today's riot gun. Only this one was pretty lethal. Again, you only got one shot with it, but it take out a whole swath of people in the process.
Coming up next, our next shooter will be Bob Briggs when we return to the NRA Whittington Center for more King of 2 Miles competition presented by Stiller's Actions. Welcome back to Raton, New Mexico. You're tuned in and you've been watching the King of 2 Miles shooting competition for the last several weeks. This week's edition presented by Stiller's Actions. Here's our next shooter. Ladies and gentlemen, please meet Bob Briggs from Paulden, Arizona. His spotter will be John Harris. Looks like shot number 1 is low.
Is it an impact?
Yeah, they're thinking it impacted, but it didn't impact.
That was high.
Oh, way high. So he went from low to high. Now if he can get halfway in between, he'll have it.
Okay, you're just left. Come right. 310.
If the spotter saw it, was just left of the plate.
As he told him to come to the left.
He's giving the correction. See if he'll put it on the plate.
That got the job done right there, and you see the plate waving in the lower right-hand corner of your screen from the impact of the bullet.
Same hole, same target.
So he has one hit. Now he still wants to hit the next one to gain points, but he has the right to move on to the second target. And he has a hit on the next one. Where did he hit? Well, take a look. You can see the misses right there. Look at number 5. Boy, right on, almost dead center. Once he got on, he was on.
Actually, add a tenth to that last hole.
He's adjusting right there. You see his hand go up on the scope. That's the adjustment that he's been told to make.
Do it again. Same
And
hole.
it's a hit. Boy, that was the right adjustment, Paul.
Yeah, they actually used the dope off the last target, the first target, and they added it to the second. So that's what gave him the hit. So they were actually using the environmentals from the last shot, and they added to the second shot, and that gave them a first-round impact and a lot of points. Let's see how well if they can put the third one on target.
Yes, they did. So once again, those first three shots kind of got everything adjusted the way you wanted. Hit the last two, and of course he's got two on target number two. Now you see that adjustment close up right there as he gets ready for a tough target number three. Way low.
This target's over a mile away. The time of flight is crucial here for the spotter. What I do is I will count off in my head 1001, 1002, and I'll watch for the impact. There it is. It'll actually help you time what you're looking for. Sometimes we blink, sometimes we get distracted. It's important for that spotter to stay in the scope and count off in his head and wait for the impacts.
So as you can see, he did well on target 1 and 2, not so much on target 3. We asked Bob, why do you shoot at such a rapid pace?
I learned that with the 50 Caliber Shooters Association. When you get a good wind hold, just run with it. Run as fast as you can. A little bit unfamiliar with the gun, but it was, all in all, it wasn't bad. I just dialed my dope wrong on that last target.
Our next shooter will be Dale Trout. Earlier, Paul talked to him about Stiller's Precision Firearms.
We have Dale Trout with Stiller Precision Firearms today. He makes actions. And Dale, why don't you tell us what you have here today?
What we've got here today is a Navy Mark 13 Mod 7. We won that contract about 7 years ago, and we've been re-upped for another one. And then this is our TAC 408 we're shooting at this event. Extra large action. And then down here we've got the donation TAC 408s that we're donating to the King of 2 Mile.
What makes them so good?
What makes them so good is the guy that started this company, Jerry Stiller, was a world-class engineer at Raytheon doing FLIR design for missiles. And I mean, a really smart guy. And his partner was Curtis Helton, who was the machinist in the prototype shop at Raytheon. So I like to tell people we've got more engineering talent in this company than all the other competitors combined. We're also 50% of the market for actions per the BATF website and data. So we don't have to change fixtures. We have 17 machining centers. We do one op on each machine and never change it. So our quality is extremely high. It also helps us be relatively low price compared to the rest of the competition. So quality, value, and accessibility. We build actions for stock, so most people call us and they can get it the next day.
We'll have more shooting competition after the break.
King of 2 Miles is being brought to you by Lone Star Field Products, the world's most precise rifle rest. Applied Ballistics LLC, the science of accuracy. And by Stiller's Actions, building the highest precision custom rifle actions in the world today.
Welcome back to the NRA Whittington Center, the host of the King of 2 Miles competition, sponsored by Stiller's Actions. And our next shooter is going to be Dale Trout from Wiley, Texas. His spotter will be Curtis Helton. And there you see Curtis, all set up. And there's the first shot by Dale, and it's a hit.
So you have two of the employees that work for Stiller's Actions, the owner and one of the machinists. So this is pretty cool for them to be representing Stiller.
It's even cooler when they start hitting immediately. I mean, the first shot, now the points are racking up, right, Paul?
You got it, Ted. The first shot's 5 times the distance, the second shot is 4 times the distance, and so on. There's another hit. So those last 4 shots he had were within probably about 10 inches. So he's really shooting well here.
3 times the distance in points with shot number 3. Shot number 4. This guy's not going to miss, Paul. He's got target number 1 down. He's really got it figured out. The spotter doesn't have to do anything. All 5 of them. This guy was zeroed in. Let's see how much. all 5 shots no more than about 10 inches apart. So he just kept shooting. Don't change anything. And boy, he really amassed a lot of points on that one. But target number 2 coming up. That's a horse of a different color, a little further away. Low, quite a bit low.
Again, a lot of the teams have the same problem, transferring from that first plate to the second plate. You know, dialing in their elevation, factoring for wind, the inclination, the angle going up. All those things are very important to dial the correct elevation.
Yeah, and he's still way low with that one.
Yeah, both those shots were low. Let's see if they can correct and make an impact here to transfer to the third plate.
Got to get it up. Low again. He just couldn't get the shot up. He managed to hit all 5 of them on target number 1. Target number 2, well, we asked him, what happened there, Dale?
I was good on the first one. I didn't get a call on the second one till the second shot. I corrected for that and didn't clean it.
So in 5 weeks, we have managed to qualify 5 different shooters to go into the final. So you'll want to be sure and join us the same time every week as we qualify all these guys for the final in King of 2 Miles. I'm Ted Jones. For Paul Phillips, thanks for watching. So long, everyone.